I see here is it seems like it's all about the relationship for the month of February. I feel like there is a bit of a transition that you're also going through. It seems like a lot of that going around in amongst the period of February for a lot of the signs, but especially with yours, it's very deep, transformative in regards to a connection more specifically. What I would say here is I wanted to pull some other cards as far as what the challenge is, what the other person thinks of you, and maybe we'll do that right now too because I didn't pull that. So what would be the challenge for, what is the challenge for Taurus in the month of February? What is the challenge that they are undergoing for this month? What is the challenge, the things that they have to deal with? Okay, someone who's in regards to all about the money, somebody who could be very entrepreneurial, but knows what to do with money on the average. There is a level of toxicity around that, or at least some kind of, if the relationship has had some imbalance. I would say because it's followed up with the Temperance card, everything is still showing some very good promise there. And for the other cards supporting, we also have what's coming in very quickly. This is your obstacle, remember. This is the challenge. And so the Eight of Wands is bringing in what for February with that connection? All right, more of a rest, recuperative, sort of heal through the state. This could be lawyer, this could be father figure, this definitely could be somebody who's legal or contractual things here. We'll ask more about your money here too. That didn't really come up quite as significantly as the relationship, but it's all over the reading that this is a father figure. Definitely followed up with the Emperor, somebody who generally has the energy of being in control and who enjoys being in control. A lot of that energy is about even maybe possibly too dominating or overtly in control. Something along that seems to be where the toxicity lay. So one last thing to ask here, because there is some positive cards following that, just as a side note here. Sorry, one sec here. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Sorry, guys. Getting over a little bit of an illness thing here. So anyway, but overall, like I said, your cards are looking pretty good. Let's ask for one. How are the finances looking for the month of February? The finances looking for the month of February. How are the finances looking for the month of February? Okay, so we'll kind of leave it at that. I will bring those forward here as well because we do have the Ace of Swords and we also have the Knight of Pentacles, but we'll go into that here in a second. So we'll start with general energy and then kind of move it into more of the expansive energy. So what we're starting off with, which would be the clarifier. So what we're starting off with is the Death card. You are in a period of a major transformation or a transition. You're to kind of shed the old way of thinking and move into a new space. So that does mean with that, there's a clearing away of the things that were obstacles, a clearing away of old belief systems, old patterns, old situations, things that you feel stuck or had level of intensity to them, but you're on a new trajectory here. So there is going to be something here that opens up that's going to bring you to a new level of passion. So I want to say the Death card with the followed up with the Knight of Wands does indicate that this is something that is a little further out, but you are still in the energy of it. The Knight of Wands does speak to a renewed sense of excitement. So I feel like right now you're transitioning out of something that was a little heavier, a little more negative, a little less feeling, enthusiastic. And now you're moving into something that's a lot more peaceful, a lot more introspective, still in this energy though, but you are feeling a lot more inspired going forward. Again, you're all going to be on different timelines. You won't all be making a decision on a Saturday, and you all take a little, different you all have a different path to healing, and some have more support, some have less, that kind of thing. And so that sort of plays a role as to how this energy plays out as well. So again, either way though, the main energy that's out here is that there is a marked transformation that's taking place that has to do with healing a relationship or a connection, and it's going to kind of move this into a newer energy. So again, you're starting to feel a little bit more enthusiastic, like things are on track, and that this transition is swiftly taking place. So there is something that's going into a faster conclusion, like you're getting through this transition quickly. And I feel like because of that, You know, there might be, I don't feel like you're not thinking things through, because sometimes that night can be an impulsive night, but it's followed up with a Virgo energy here um with the Hermit, which means there's still a fair amount of self discovery, reflection, spiritual growth, trying to figure oneself out, stepping back, going inward, all of that. So you are still in quiet contemplation, which I feel is you're kind of in that space of wanting to be away from anything that would distract you from that, because it's helping you to sort of pull it all together, helping you to get through this so fast, because it's seeking wisdom from a deeper space, finding your own answers, and sort of tuning out the noise of the world. So again, there's a certain element starting off in February that kind of speaks to, you know, that inner solitude, and definitely it's encouraging you to think more forward, you know, because it's happening right rather quickly. So you're going to be moving forward in a very quick way here because of this intense shift or change, transition. So outside of that, it does open or make way for a new chapter, right? So there is a lot more excitement and energy, passionate kind of things that are coming through here as well, even though it's a bit of a flirty energy in and out, not really it doesn't have a lot of staying power, endurance, but the connection itself does, because that is coming through as a Two of Cups. That's a really strong connection. That's a really strong energy. I feel this would be a very connection on the average, even though despite you've been going through some challenges that look to be around finances, things being out of balance, and it feels like there's been some distance or separation in the connection to a certain extent. But either way, the Hermit is giving you the answers that you need, and you are stepping forward with that night. So there is going to be something that kind of clears up for you in, you know, amidst this transition you're going through. So I feel like you're moving forward because of this reflection, as I mentioned, and we are moving into the energy of, just going to slide that over to the Four of Pentacles. So Four of Pentacles, Two of Cups, and we also have the Hangman. So that does indicate that there is something here about the stability and the control. You're hanging on tightly to what you have, especially in regards to emotions, money, fearing some kind of a loss. There could be, in terms of a connection, more of an unwillingness to let go, share your feelings, and all of that. It feels like you feel that that would threaten your security. So there's some things that you're holding back on here. I do feel like because of this perspective shift with the Hangman, obviously there's been something here that's made you feel like you've been feeling stuck or vulnerable, of losing control, something like that. And that's why you've pulled back so much on your emotions and really hanging on to the finances. But you're being asked to sort of shift into, you know, surrendering into this connection a little bit more. So, you know, it's emotion. There is still something here that has a very strong mutual connection and attraction with that Two of Cups. So I feel like you're aligned with one another's needs, and I feel like a pretty deep bond. And I feel like there is generally a lot of emotional reciprocity here. But given, you know, factors that sometimes are a little bit beyond our control, life always has the highs, the lows, that kind of thing. And it looks like you're coming out of a bit of a low period where you weren't connect or, you know, have a conversation where things felt reciprocated. But overall, I'll get back to the obstacle here in a little bit. But either way, I just feel like, sorry guys, either way, I just feel like you have some kind of new insights that will allow for more growth in this space. So again, feels like a little bit of the relationship felt stuck, on hold. Nobody was willing to budge. There's too much of an attachment to control and expectation that things have to be a certain way. And so I feel like you're starting to they're starting to shift. There is more of an embracing of seeing things in a new way with more hope. So, despite this time of pause, which is exactly what I see as, you're still moving forward in a traditional sense. But again, the new insights are coming to help you step back and look at things from, you know, a different angle. So, before you take that action. So, again, together, that is, I feel, a loosening of the grip of control, which is going to allow to create a deeper space or emotional connection and understanding between the two of you. So again, it feels like it could be more of a meeting of the minds, not just on your part. Actually, I should ask what they are thinking as well. Didn't ask that one. But I did have 10 of Cups at the bottom of the deck, and you also have the 9 of Cups, just so you know, that's coming out in the reading. So it's going to end on a high note. What is it that this person is thinking of at this time? What are they thinking of right now? Water sign comes up, information coming through, acting quickly on the information about something that they've been pondering in terms of money. They're in a place of healing as well and releasing some information. So we'll kind of just go through the other cards here, but that's just sort of a general synopsis. Again, with the card that I just pulled here. Okay, but we'll go back into the read here. So again, what I see here is that there's a letting of the control in the relationship. Everybody's been hanging on really tightly to their position. A lot of fears and vulnerability, worried about losing something important. Looks like finances are definitely somehow interplaying here, and happiness as well. But emotionally, it feels like that is encouraging you to release the attachment. Again, don't have a rigid mindset or an expectation that everything has to unfold a particular way. Everything will, with the relationship, will unfold naturally, more of an organic way when we don't try to direct things. Because I think relationships, at some point, you only have so much control. You can only really handle or navigate through from the position that you're in. You don't really know what somebody else is dealing with. You don't know what their emotional security is, or you don't know why they're protective of their heart no more than they would know of yours. You can have an inkling of something like this, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you know how to fulfill all their needs and they know how to fulfill all yours. So again, that's why things are coming off guarded. But I still feel like, even despite that, it feels like this is still a mutual connection where there's a lot of understanding of one another's needs for the most part, even though it just feels like at the point, there's a need for patience because of the stuck feeling here with a hangman. But either way, don't try to force things is the message I'm getting here, or try to control the situation, because it will lead to a result that is less than desirable for you. So surrender some of the control, allow for things to evolve naturally, because you do have some very happy cards that do indicate that it is going to go in that direction. So the Four of Pentacles is that need, as I said, to release the attachment to something emotional, physical, well, actually more emotional and monetary. Physical could be in here as well, because I see that there's just so much around trying to control the pace of everything, trying to make sure it goes the way you want it. You want to have more of a say in a situation, and that's not really where it's at. Once we get to the final cards out, though, further out, I'll get on kind of shifted over. You do have the Ace of Cups. You also have the Judgment card, and you also have the something dealing with the past, child, or something nostalgic, or something relating around the past is becoming an issue. There's a lot of nostalgia here, but you're making a decision on something from the past. Could be children involved, but I'm less inclined to believe that, because it seems to be around all the cards around your emotions and around making a decision to actually, allow for this new beginning. And again, there's even kind of not only just a new beginning in love or with dealing with your emotions, but there's spiritual fulfillment that comes through with the Ace of Cups. This is also a gift from the universe. So there is something that's coming through that's going to allow you to feel there is a reward for whatever this emotional awakening is, because it's like an opening of the heart with the Judgment card and the Ace of Cups. So I really feel like you're in a space right now of really awakening through that self-reflection and realizing something that is going to maybe bring you back to something from the past, but it's going to bring you back into a space of receiving more this second time around. Like I said, I feel like it's on the horizon. There's something really quick where you're going to just be able to embrace and heal, and you're just going to feel a lot differently by the end of the month. Some of you, there's even more of a residual going further out, like I said, into March, because I also have not only one, this could even potentially be two gifts from the universe coming through, because you have two cards of that. We've got the first one and we've got this one. And on top of that, you also have, this is around your happiness card. Now, I do want to say the Nine of Cups did show up in a reverse position. So it does mean that you were sort of in the, in a space where you were maybe not seeing it for what it was. Like the Six of Cups is, again, nostalgia, memories, and anything from the past that you connect to, but you're revisiting the past and in a more positive, sentimental way, though, by the end of the month. So this could also indicate a reunion or an opportunity to heal from the past, but it's also about embracing all that emotional energy and kind of reflecting on simpler times. So there's a lot going on in with regards to your emotions. Now, we also have the emotional healing and rebirth, again, that comes through with the Ace of Cups. So again, that's a fresh start of emotional energy, and it's more amplified when it's right next to the Judgment card. So it feels like there's something here that's rewarding. And again, it's going to allow you to move forward because you have revisited the past for healing. You have brought yourself back into a place where, you were coming to terms with whatever it was that was emotionally disruptive for you. And you're moving forward now with a new sense of understanding. So very strong healing cards here. And I also will, when I get to the obstacle cards, the temperance came out. So definitely healing cards showing up, and definitely in around father figure. A lot of masculine energy in this read, so this could be even more than one person in regards to masculine energy. But I just feel like you're awaking through a tough love emotional experience, and this is allowing for a rapid recovery because of the death card and the Knight of Wands. So it's encouraging a lot more self-realization. So again, deeper sense of connection, more compassion that I feel like you're showing yourself and with others as well. But the Six of Cups is still a reminder that the past holds important lessons, and you shouldn't limit your ability to experience, a fresh way of dealing with an unburdened love. So the summary of all of that really is, there's a renewal on the horizon here. So again, past healing, old emotional wounds, big personal transformation where things are coming together. And I do mean large scale personal transformation because of the transition you're in with the death card, as well as the judgment card as the clarifier. So it just feels like you're releasing and stepping through into a new emotional, more loving start. Now, I want to say with this connection that seems to be a fairly reciprocated, good understanding of one another, it is a potential for deeper love. It's pure love. It's, definitely, even for those that aren't, engaged in more of a loving connection, this could be a passion project as well. But usually I see a lot more wands for that. So whoever this is, it seems to be more along the lines of an emotional. It doesn't have to be a love interest, could be just a partnership or connection to somebody that was very important or is very important in your life where there's been a falling out. But either way, this person nourishes your soul. And when they are at their best and you're at their best, I feel like the experiences between you, is really one that is emotionally satisfying, optimistic, and you really see the possibilities going forward. Now, because it came out with the Nine of Cups reversed initially, again, this does indicate that, there has been something here that didn't give you that feeling of emotional abundance. It did feel like there was a lot of dissatisfaction. You were seeking something externally, possibly through achievements or material, situations, and it just fell short. So I feel like there is kind of that emotional hunger that's going on for you right now. It didn't fulfill you as much as you'd hoped, but I want you to know that's about to change. So by the end of the month, everything's going to be shifting. So Ace of Cups and the Nine of Cups. Well, actually, yeah, I just feel like there's more nurturing and self-care as well, regarding you and your relationships. So overall, though, the Ace of Cups is the promise of a new emotional possibility, but it's also something that's coming in. The universe is going to provide this for you. Um, that will change everything. And the dynamic is definitely around the family unit, definitely around stability. You are getting something that you wanted here with that Nine of Cups, even though were dissatisfied with it initially. But again, your cards further out is like it's almost like a hard won victory. So you are getting the emotional start that you're hoping for. But again, Five of Swords been a huge shift. It's been a battle or something that didn't feel like a win. It's like you just got through it. It's that feeling. It did hit your resources, definitely hit you on a personal level, definitely hit the family. But I definitely feel overall it might have been an unrealistic expectation for that time, but there is going to be lasting emotional satisfaction, more self-love, and more of an opening up emotionally for you in this period. So again, just to kind of reiterate, and again, 9 and 10 of Cups. So I mean, it's going to be quite a significant. I even feel like more than one thing is coming in for you. It's almost like there's going to be one thing that follows another that follows another. So it almost feels like there's three different things here that are going to show up for you, possibly on the cusp of February, March, but there is definitely Ace of Cups and the Five of Swords has been communication issues as well, around those resources. But again, there's a potential despite that conflict. So, what I want to also add there is despite the challenges, this is where you're at emotional healing. The connection is starting to right itself. There may have been a feeling of some points could not be resolved, and you're still going forward despite those points. But either way, you navigated the conflict, or the two of you have navigated the conflict with a certain element of integrity. Like everybody's being honest here now. And I feel like there is, less of a feeling of of needing to struggle through this situation, and more of a welcoming of what's about to happen. And again, what's about to happen is it feels like threes are coming in for you. You actually have wish fulfillment, you have ultimate happiness. Like I say, it's more of an expansive energy. This is, I'm going to say, it's like the ultimate happiness, like in their relationships, emotionally, it's the happily ever after. And it kind of moves you to a different level. So again, I feel like you're achieving some kind of goal or dream, or something that you've wanted has been met emotionally. And I would probably along the finances, because of some of the other cards that are surrounding this. But it's going to allow you that inner sense of peace and happiness. So again, I feel like you're going to, feel a lot more pride, and there's a lot more harmony on the home front. Happy partnership, happy community, whoever your family community is. But I just feel like overall there's emotional bliss here. There's something about your emotional desires being met on a personal level, deeply personal for you. And it's definitely around your loving environment is much more stable. Lots and lots of peace, lots of emotional fulfillment, lots of relational levels, even in terms of other friendships, I would say here as well, because there's just the feeling that everything just lined up and fell into place. So that's that one. And then we're just going to go back to the obstacle. So, how the other person feels about you. Again, there's been some kind of, this has been a situation where it's been met with some unkind words possibly, or some indifference around communication. But the Ace of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles is slow moving energy, but it's practical energy. This is somebody who does all the right things by taking all the right steps, really steady methodical progress. So whoever it is you're dealing with, and again, strong masculine energy coming through here. Even in terms of a work front, this could be getting information as well coming through about money coming in, although the money is going to be slow trickling in, but it's coming in nonetheless. It feels like there's newer ideas about, practical ways to make money as well. But it's almost like there's a breakthrough moment with someone, and that's allowing you that moment, or that steady, reliable action. And that's, I think, what you also prioritize with this person, or somebody that you feel is very, has it together on the average, and maybe something sort of fell short of that, but that is starting to change and turn around. But again, there's a lot of focused energy, a lot of discipline in, whatever the situation is, and it is going to produce a lasting result. Now, the things that were obstacle. So again, in around the money, I would say for sure, because the King of Pentacles does represent as somebody who generally is pretty well to do, and maybe too much indulgence or concern over money matters as well in that space. So I feel like there's a lot of themes that kind of correlate to control, temptation, wanting to, somebody's still really hardworking and reliable, but like I said, there's a temptation. There might have been emotional issues, or addiction, or something that's come up here, or whatever it is, they felt trapped, you felt trapped, or whatever the situation. Again, there's a certain level of attachment, or something that felt as though it was an unhealthy cycle. So I just feel like you were, there's been a lot of lack, not like lack mentality, but feeling as though there's been a pursuit of money that's been challenged in some way. So the luxury, or whatever it is there, that stability seems as though it's been a bit of an unhealthy imbalance, an overindulgence in that, being overspending, overworking, or really fixated on possessions, things of that nature. But I feel like, again, the dynamics of the cards that follow with all of that masculine energy, there's a lot of masculine energy here, but you're very protected, because you have balance coming in very rapidly that's going to shift everything here. So I feel like you're going to be able to start to feel like it's not an unhealthy situation anymore, because it's going to allow you to reach a level of peace. And I say peace specifically because I see more than one card that also speaks to that. But the Temperance and the Eight of Wands, it's rapidly changing. And with the Four of Swords, I mean, I just feel like you feel the need to rest, relax, recuperate. But there's also huge a level of balancing out the energies, the action, the rest. All of that is starting to equalize, you know? So again, I just feel like trust the flow here. Everything's starting to align. You are more in line with your higher purpose as well, because you're feeling a lot more peaceful. And again, the Eight of Wands is quick progress. It's fast moving momentum toward this, quick developments in finding that level of peace. So either way, I just feel like that period of stress or struggle, whether it's, you know, mentally, physically, is allowing you a time to recharge. It's further out. It's not, you're just in the energy of the transition first, and then there's going to be something that comes in that gives you a little bit of, it gives you the information that you need to help you to realize that there is something that's starting to make a swift change. And that is where you then start to feel more at ease. And that's where the balance starts to align, you know, with the actions with your deeper goals. So again, I just feel like there is slow, steady progress. There's also quick information that comes in here that helps you to realize things are sustainable. Everything that you were worried about is not going to be at play here, because there's a lot of elements of control. There's a lot of stability. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, again, father figure, legal, somebody in legal field, lawyer, or anything that's kind of in that, or dealing with something with systems as well, is present here. But I do feel like corporate energy could also be coming through. But Four of Swords and the they're all fours, or sorry, not all fours, but lots of cards of balance and things being in control. But again, a lot of masculine energy, a lot of mature energy. King of Swords and the Emperor, it just feels like everything is going to work out very well. So, like I said, if you're worried about something, don't be, because there's a lot of discipline here. There's leadership, there's clear decisions, intellectual clarity. I mean, there's somebody who is really able to cut through confusion, has a no-nonsense approach to problem solving, and it looks like they have strategized well enough to bring something about that is going to allow for a lot more peace in the environment. So a lot of authoritative energy here, like I said. And I feel overall that logic and structure and that integrity and authority is what is allowing you to feel some level of peace and trust and faith again in, you know, this person's control, or this person's way of dealing with situations. So it's like something's moving back into, you know, something that you're familiar with, you know, a leadership role, whether it's you or somebody else. It feels like it's somebody else, but either way, it just feels like the situation has been cleared up. So we're going to do one last card here. This one is going to be the Return of Spirit card. Let me just see one more second here. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to see what I did with that deck. I knew it helped. Okay, there we are. Return of Spirit card. So let's see, what do you have coming in for the month of February? What is your message for Taurus? Message for Taurus. What's coming in? Message for Taurus. What's coming in for the month of February? Main energy out. Starseed. Power. Why the Starseed? And integrity. Again, all these really sort of speak to that same energy being significance here. So there's also something about surfacing and caretaker that's also coming in. So I want to say that whatever this energy is, and the last part, of course, underneath that was union. I'll read what we've got there. Just, I don't, this one I'm not overly familiar with, but I'll read some of the answers here just to kind of keep things track, so I don't take away from the value of the cards. But the Starseed it does speak to a loving, benevolent being in this card that's coming to you. So there are many who feel as though they don't belong here. It's a tough journey. There's many obstacles to overcome, and you're a very sensitive soul. So you are very affected by the moods and the thoughts of others. And this could be that you're a type of healer and certainly teacher, something like that, but it may seem easier just to hide away. It's not what you've come here to do. You carry a high frequency, and so by being out there every day and contacting others and sharing, this is helping you to spread that information. As a star seed, you're being directed to kind of continue on with this path. Be patient with yourself. It takes more than effort, it's communication. With your spiritual self as well, but the information is there, and you just have to develop that connection a little bit more. So, in this bit, it seems like there might have been something that you'd lost touch with. Now, when we get to the card of power, this deals with the third chakra, solar plexus, and this is where you experience your own sense of personal power. There is more of a focus on personal power. And again, it's to not be afraid to own it. If you were feeling powerless, which I suggest, or which I expect that was kind of what was happening there. There was a sense of not feeling strong enough to handle the circumstances that you were in, fearing losing the love or the person or something, feeling like it wasn't going the right way. You were about to lose something, but there was a fear there. And it's pulling it back to you being in a space where what was in the past is because you weren't using your own personal power. So by doing that, what I mean by that is that you weren't, it's not going up against another. It's more about what can you do to contribute to the well-being or the, helping of the situation. So there's something there more that you could possibly have done. Sometimes it isn't revealed to us, but again, you're being called to tap at that more often, because I think it's like you kind of fell to the side. Anything that was sort of spiritual, it wasn't the main priority. Okay, but your integrity is strong with that card, of course, as well. And do not doubt yourself or allow someone else to shake you. And so it feels like you were unsure about, where things were going, and that shook your personal, your personal, what's the word I'm looking for? Confidence. Just know that when you do something from the heart space, it doesn't guarantee an outcome, but it certainly does indicate that the integrity is what's more important. And if you're strongly guided to stay in your integrity, that helps you to feel like you did the right thing despite the circumstances. And so to remain strong and in your own truth and integrity, because that makes you feel like you did the right thing. And whatever the circumstances, you're not going to question, would you have done anything differently? No, because you stood in your integrity. Caretaker is the other card that's out here as well. I feel like this could be you, the endless giver. This is someone who, touches people and make things better. They're more supportive, they're loving, and it expands because of you being in their world. Like you are someone who nurtures. But I feel sometimes you don't get to consider your own needs. You're so focused on the needs of others. So this is where you have to come first right now. And it may feel as though it's going against your very nature to do so, but put yourself first, your well-being, nurturing you physically and mentally is going to be allowing you to feel like you are of more value in the connection. And when you feel more value, you're not looking to someone else to sort of restore the balance in your life. You can restore it for yourself. So allowing others, again, Spirit is encouraging you to allow others the opportunity to give to you as well, and know from your own experience how good it feels to give. So allow others to give to you, because you are often the caretaker. Now, the last two cards out is surfacing. And for surfacing, this one is really all about, let's see here, give me one more second. Surfacing, every time we allow ourselves to step out beyond our boundaries, we find a way to get past our fears. So allow your true expression, allow the deepest parts of yourself to rise to the surface, face the challenge, step up into the world, speak publicly, do presentations, do something that makes you feel like you are putting your best self forward. There's a lot more here. You have teacher capacity as well, and I feel like this will be helping you to discover more about yourself. So we also have last card out, and again, that's union, which I did feel was the predominant energy of this read. Your connections being very significant this time. But overall, it feels like you were moving in the right direction. And like I said, somebody else is kind of helping to facilitate that with you as well, but union is definitely representing two living souls coming together. There is more of a partnership, more of a positive energy. Um, it's like feeling like things starting fresh again. It's like you get the reset. So there's something here again, like their communication. There's more of a connection and understanding of each other. The goals are more aligned again. It's like everything is allowing for more. It's a foundation for personal growth. So that's what I would say. It helps you to raise your consciousness, your understand, to feel safe, to allow this person to see into the deepest, most vulnerable parts of ourselves. With these types of relationships, one thing is for certain: you will grow and you will learn from them. Enjoy all the good this union has to offer. Be as open as possible to recognizing your triggers, fears, and old patterns of behavior. Be mindful of when you're feeling the need to hide and protect yourself, or if you begin to fear losing their love. This will enable you to consciously address and heal any old issues and wounds of the past. This is a part of the soul agreement that you and the person share. You have come together to help each other to become whole, healed, and open to love in every way. That was excellent. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Taurus. Hopefully it gave you a little bit of insight to keep moving forward. We'll see you in the next read. That's for February.